Good morning, Concord. Noah here with your daily devotion. This morning I want to read you an excerpt from Psalm 88, and I want to talk to you very briefly about the sovereignty of God and why it should encourage us. So, let's read Psalm 88, verses 3 through 9. It says, "For my soul is full of troubles, and my life draws near to Sheol. I am counted among those who go down to the pit. I am a man who has no strength. Like one set loose among the dead, like the slain that lie in the grave, like those whom you remember no more, for they are cut off from your hand. You have put me in the depths of the pit, in the regions dark and deep. Your wrath lies heavy upon me, and you overwhelm me with all your waves. You have caused my companions to shun me. You have made me a horror to them. I am shut in so that I cannot escape. My eye grows dim through sorrow. Every day I call upon you, O Lord. I spread out my hands to you." And so I wanted to share this with you. I've been reading this book for the past couple of days called When Pain is Real and God Seems Silent. And it's all about finding hope in the Psalms, and it's specifically about finding hope in Psalm 88. And that's important because Psalm 88 is one of the few Psalms that doesn't have a ton of hope in it. It's actually pretty depressing. It's about a man who feels hopeless, who feels lost, who feels like everything is working against him on earth. And he is crying out and pouring out his heart to God. But what's really significant in these verses we just read is that throughout his pain and his misery and all the things going wrong in his life, he still recognizes the sovereignty of God. I like that this author says that he does not reject that God is loving, but he does not reject that God is sovereign and in control. We see him talk about God placing him where he is, God causing the things he's going through, God giving him these problems. Because the fact of the matter is, whether or not we fully understand it, everything we go through is from the sovereignty of God. And the reason I tell you that this is encouraging is because, as we learned through our Attributes of God study with Kurt a couple months ago, when God is sovereign, God is still good, God is still loving. God does not lose those things just because he is in control. So whatever you're going through, whether it's this virus, whether it's things with your job, whether it's things with your friends or your families, remember that God is still in control of all of them, and he is doing something good for your soul and good for you through them. If God were not in control, this is the most encouraging thing I can share about God's sovereignty. The reason it is important to remember that God is in control is because the alternative is significantly scarier than a God who's in control. If we served a God who was not sovereign, who was not in control of our problems, then we would serve a God that every time something bad happens in our life, gets caught off guard. We would serve a God that isn't prepared. We would serve a God that didn't know how to handle it when it came up. And that wouldn't be God. So this morning, whatever you're going through, whatever problems you're facing, whatever struggle you're in, however lost you feel, remember these two things. God still loves you, and God is still in control of your life. I love you guys, and I'm praying for you, and I can't wait to see you again.